All right, hello, good evening. We are live. Welcome back to the Law Entrance YouTube channel and to another session of the Hindu analysis. Good evening to all of you. I can see your responses. Harjot is saying first class, CLAT देना है, ज्वाइन कर लो. ज्वाइन कर लिया आपने क्लासेस के अलावा क्या ज्वाइन करना है? अगर आपने बैच ज्वाइन करना है, then you can get in touch on this number. आप इस नंबर पे कॉल कर लो. नंबर ऑन योर बॉटम राइट 8130038836. ठीक है, चलो. How many of you are here? Dog lover is saying can't see him on the screen. Guys, am I not visible and audible? Am I visible and audible, folks? Yes, no, in the chat. Quickly. Yes or no in the chat box. Am I visible? Am I audible? Is the PPT visible? Everything is fine. We are ready to go. चलो ठीक है. Awesome. ठीक है, स्टार्ट करते हैं आज का डिस्कशन. लेट्स बिगिन टुडेज डिस्कशन and let's look at the agenda for the day. All right, so today is 16th of July, it's Wednesday, and today we are discussing three different topics. First is an editorial article which talks about criminalizing relationships and specifically adolescent relationships. And this is in context with a case which is going on in Supreme Court and what the court has observed in that. So that we'll discuss. Then there is another article which talks about US and multilateralism. इसके बारे में हमने कल भी बात करी थी. But yeah, a new perspective to multilateralism today and what's the role of US and how India is involved. We'll talk about that. Then there is another article which talks about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's foreign ministers meeting and how we discuss the issue of terrorism there, especially with China. So these would be three topics of focus in today's discussion. Apart from that, couple of other topics here and there on the newspaper, which we'll discuss while reading the newspaper. And then, of course, we have our three new vocab words for the day. MENTI quiz आज करा जाए क्या? Do you guys want to have a MENTI quiz today? I could not make a lengthy quiz. I think it's just a 7-8 odd questions quiz. I was still in the process of making it and then got occupied with some stuff. But do you guys want a short, like 10 question quiz? I can add 2 questions quickly to it. Or do you want a lengthy quiz on Friday? Okay, 2 choices. Option number A, a 20 question quiz on Friday, or a 10 question quiz today and 10 question quiz on Friday. Option A या option B? जल्दी से चूज करके बता दो मुझे. Option A is a 20 question quiz on Friday. Option B is a 10 question quiz today and a 10 question quiz on Friday as well. A or B? Are saying both. Okay, जल्दी से choice कर लो. Okay, ठीक है. So it's gonna be 2 quizzes then. One 10 question quiz today and one 10 question quiz on Friday, which is day after tomorrow. All right, cool, got it. So with majority say we have chosen option number B. ठीक है, as you guys say, you can have a short quiz today. आप लोगों को 1 minute wait करना पड़ेगा for me to just arrange the quiz together, put the quiz together. But yeah, you can do that. All right, let's start today's discussion by looking at today's newspaper. Let me just present it for you folks on the screen. All right, I hope it's visible now. विशेष गहन पुनरीक्षण. This is what you call special intensive revision in Hindi. क्या आप बिहार के मतदाता हैं? If yes, then scan on this QR code. चलो ठीक है. आप लोगों में से कितने लोग are eligible to vote? How many of you are above 18? Can I have a me in the chat box? Yes or no in the chat box if you guys are eligible voters or not. Let me know the demographic of the class. So I think most of you must be around 17 to 19 only, but yeah. Okay, execution put off, reprieve for Indian nurse in Yemen. This was a case which we were discussing yesterday as well. And here you can see the judge, Nimisha Priya, with her mother, Prema Kumari, in this picture. And the settlement has moved forward a little bit. And execution इनका जो है रोक दिया गया है, postpone कर दिया गया है from Wednesday. So yeah, it's good news for her. All right. Service exports cut India's trade deficit by 9.4% in Q1. Q1 is quarter one, the first 3 months. एंड क्या होता है ट्रेड डेफिसिट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन योर एक्सपोर्ट्स एंड इम्पोर्ट्स. सो अगर हमने लेट से 200 रुपीज़ का सामान इम्पोर्ट किया, 100 रुपीज़ का सामान एक्सपोर्ट किया, इम्पोर्ट मतलब खरीदा, एक्सपोर्ट मतलब बेचा, तो 100 रुपीज़ का गैप आया एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड ट्रेड डेफिसिट. अगर हम बेचेंगे ज़्यादा, खरीदेंगे कम, तो उसको हम बोलेंगे ट्रेड सरप्लस. तो क्योंकि हमने सर्विस सेक्टर में काफ़ी ज़्यादा यू नो इंक्रीज इन मोमेंटम देखा, उस वजह से हमारा ट्रेड डेफिसिट जो है श्रिंक हो गया, कम हो गया. So that's a good thing for our economy. Okay, moving ahead, city-based news are not important. 2.4 lakh applications in DU. क्या बात है, बहुत क्रेज है DU का. 59% opt for humanities. SRCC emerges as most sought after college. Nice. Any of you considering DU as your colleges? Many of you might be. CUET वगैरह. Okay, why don't you feed strays in your house? Supreme Court asked the petitioner. So ये काफ़ी टाइम से सोशल मीडिया पे भी इश्यूज चल रहे हैं इस टाइप के, दैट पीपल आर फीडिंग स्ट्रे डॉग्स बट नॉट इन फ्रंट ऑफ देयर हाउसेस, गोइंग टू अदर प्लेसेस, फीडिंग स्ट्रे डॉग्स देयर, एंड देयर द स्ट्रे डॉग्स आर क्रिएटिंग रकस फॉर द रेसिडेंट्स ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर बिल्डिंग और दैट सोसाइटी. एंड वो केस अब सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक भी पहुंच चुके हैं. सुप्रीम कोर्ट कह रहे हैं कि भाई अपने घर में खिलाओ खाना, दूसरों को क्यों परेशान कर रहे हो. ऑलराइट, ठीक है, इतना ही है इसमें. स्टेट बेस्ड न्यूज होल्ड SIR at least 6 months before polls. TDP urges the election commission. Opposition backs teacher booked over verse on Kanwar Yatra. So this guy wrote a poem. He's from Bareilly, which also happens to be my hometown. But yeah, not the right reasons to get famous. And this guy was booked for a poem जिसमें he said something about Kanwar Yatra, something which was offensive for some people, and then फिर केस वेस फाइल हो गया. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. TMC criticizes BJP for poor living conditions in Delhi's Jai Hind camp. This is not important. Odisha student जो हम कल डिस्कस कर रहे थे, she was in ICU, now she has passed away unfortunately. She had set herself ablaze. Ablaze means on fire, over harassment by teacher, and she protested, and people did not pay heed to it, and then she took that harsh step. She was admitted in AIMS Bhubaneswar, and you can see people demanding justice for her. Happy homecoming for Shubhanshu Shukla, 3 other astronauts. After 18 days in space, here you can see him coming out of the capsule which landed in water. तो इन्होंने कल जो है 3 PM इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड टाइम पे लैंडिंग करी. स्प्लैश डाउन कहते हैं उसको, लैंडिंग तो नहीं कहते, लैंडिंग तो लैंड पे होती है. दिस वाज अ स्प्लैश डाउन, एंड अब इनका रिहैब चलेगा 1 हफ्ते तक. एंड या ही कंडक्टेड मल्टीपल असाइनमेंट्स एंड मिशंस ओवर द इंटरनेशनल स्पेस स्टेशन, which we already discussed time and again, so nothing new here. कल भी हमने डिस्कस किया था ये. Let's move ahead. Karnataka drops land acquisition near Bengaluru after 1198-day farmer stir. This is all politics. Okay. Nothing important here. Yeah, nothing relevant here as well. The issue with criminalizing all adolescent relationships. तो एक केस चल रहा है, राइट टू प्राइवेसी ऑफ एडोलेसेंट्स करके, एंड उसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट आया. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या बोला है एंड क्यों बोला है वो हम डिस्कस करेंगे इन डिटेल व्हेन वी कम बैक टू द एनालिसिस, एंड वील डू दैट थ्रू द PPT जो हमारा न्यू फॉर्मेट है. On the left hand side you see fall in food prices is only one part of the inflation story. So कल we were discussing the all time low inflation in food prices, but this article says that that is just one side of the coin. उसके अलावा आपको जो है और भी फैक्टर्स वे इन करने पड़ेंगे, जैसे कि लोग अपने पैसे कहाँ पे स्पेंड कर रहे हैं, कंजम्पशन कहाँ पे हो रहा है, एंड इन्फ्लेशन बाकी चीज़ों में कितना हो रहा है, जैसे जंप इन प्राइसेस ऑफ स्कूल, कॉलेज, प्राइवेट ट्यूशन, इन्फ्लेशन इन हेल्थ केयर. ये सारी चीज़ें आर ऑन एन ऑल टाइम हाई, एंड द इन्फ्लेशन इन दीज थिंग्स इज इन डबल डिजिट्स. So even products like soap, toothpaste, shampoo, sanitary napkins, these are also becoming more expensive. Food is cheaper, but everything else is more expensive. So net तो नुकसान ही हो गया आपका. And that is pretty much what this article argues for. कि जो फूड बास्केट है इसका 46% वेट होता है इन द ओवरऑल कैलकुलेशन ऑफ द CPI, which is कंज्यूमर प्राइस इंडेक्स. इसका मतलब इसका एक बहुत मेजर इम्पैक्ट तो रहता है but there are other things which also form the share in the consumer price index, and those have become expensive. बेस ईयर कल मैंने आपको बता ही दिया था, 2011-12 है सीपीआई का, एंड होलसेल प्राइस इंडेक्स जो दूसरा वाला होता है उसका 2012 है. ठीक है. The felt experience of average Indian is described in the details, and it is still a painful one. So, as they say, the devil lies in the details, and that's the case here. Okay, US established and extinguished multilateralism. Multilateralism कल भी हमने डिस्कस किया था क्या होता है. Aligning yourself with different countries and moving towards a mutually peaceful coexistence, cooperation, all of those things, rather than moving towards a bipolar world or a unipolar world. So क्या यूएस ने किया जिससे क्या आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स हुए, क्या उसमें ब्रिक्स का रोल है, दैट इज बीइंग डिस्कस्ड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर आर्टिकल. दिस पर्सन इज अ यूएन डिप्लोमेट. Interesting article, this one, which we'll discuss in the PPT. On the left hand side, more than symbolic, legislative measures to combat unhealthy food intakes are a must. तो कल हम डिस्कस कर रहे थे दैट एक नया गाइडलाइन आया है हेल्थ मिनिस्ट्री का, जिसमें अब आपको बताना पड़ेगा कि समोसे में कितनी शुगर है, कितनी ऑयल है, कितना ट्रांस फैट है. नॉट जस्ट समोसा, समोसे, जलेबी, वड़ा पाव, लड्डू, which is being done to create more awareness, to create health awareness in people, and this is being started as a pilot project in AIIMS Nagpur, and then फिर other cities में इसको किया जाएगा. So they are saying that you need to also bring out laws for this. Legislative measures आपको लाने पड़ेंगे rather than just creating awareness. Awareness से काम नहीं चलेगा. They are saying these initiatives will serve to fill the gap and act as visual behavioral nudges. यानी कि लोगों को देख के थोड़ा सा तो लगेगा, like pictorial warnings on tobacco products जैसा होता है. And building awareness alone cannot bring about these changes, especially in absence of essential legislative measures. So that is the crux of the article कि आपको law भी बनाना पड़ेगा, सिर्फ अवेयरनेस से काम नहीं चलेगा. एडिशनल टैक्स लगाओ उन चीज़ों पे जिनमें हाई लेवल ऑफ फैट है, शुगर है, सॉल्ट है, ताकि कंजम्पशन कम हो बिकॉज ऑफ इंक्रीज इन प्राइसिंग. देन लेबलिंग में चेंजेस हो, लॉज में चेंज हो, पैकेजिंग के जो लॉज है जो एफएसएसएआई डिसाइड करता है. This is the new regulation, FSSAI Packaging and Labeling Regulation, which was amended in 2020. तो उसमें जो है आपको अमेंडमेंट्स फिर से करने पड़ेंगे. And they did a study which found out that warning labels and nutrition star help deter the consumption of even moderately unhealthy foods. Measures to build awareness without legislature will not be much more than symbolic. ठीक है, cool है. Contesting the future of forest governance, ये उतना ज़्यादा important नहीं है हमारे लिए. We'll skip this one. It's talking about community forest and protecting India's forest through multiple ways, and primarily this is focused with the Forest Rights Act. And an example लिया छत्तीसगढ़ फॉरेस्ट डिपार्टमेंट का, जहाँ पे ये सारा प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है, बट ठीक है उतना रेलेवेंट नहीं है हमारे लिए, तो वी कैन स्किप दिस वन. Cost of over-tourism in European Union. More tourist beds, fewer homes. Again, not important for us. आप लोग चाहो तो पढ़ सकते हो. Global shipping trying to decarbonize. Again, not very relevant for us, but we can read the gist of it. Shipping, however, is generally a conservative industry. New technology is relatively slow. Making a marine green fuels production hub has challenges. India's solar energy revolution is a model which can drive adoption of green fuels. Governments move to inject demand-side support for shipbuilders along with incentives for foreign cooperation should spur economies of scale and attract global shipbuilders to the company. Okay, cool. Need to protect India's linguistic secularism. Linguistic is related to languages. Secularism is, we all know what secularism is. While religion and language are two most crucial aspects of any culture, these are also predominant cross-cultural barriers. आजकल तो काफी ज़्यादा debate चली रही है language पे, especially in the South Indian states. Article 29 incorporates that any section of citizens of India shall have the right to protect their language, script, or culture. Such diversity needs to be protected. Each language, irrespective of region or state, must be shown respect. That's the gist of the article. Cool. इस पर हम ऑलरेडी काफ़ी बार डिस्कशन कर चुके हैं लैंग्वेज वाले कंट्रोवर्सी पे, तो दोबारा से मैं सेम चीज़ नहीं डिस्कस करना चाहता. हाउ वल्नरेबल आर दिल्ली सिटीजन्स टू साइबर क्राइम. अगेन दिस इज नॉट रेलेवेंट फॉर अस. SCO should not compromise on terrorism. What is SCO? Shanghai Cooperation Organization. How many countries are a part of SCO as of now? Can you guys quickly tell me in the chat box? विल डिस्कस दिस आर्टिकल ऑफ कोर्स, बट अभी के लिए आप लोग मुझे बताओ एससीओ में कितनी कंट्रीज हैं? क्या चल रहा है चैट बॉक्स में? ओके, 16 ईयर्स ओल्ड, क्या बात है, काफ़ी सारे नौजवान लोग हैं। टीचर्स डे पे 18 16 ज्वाइन कर लो, क्या ज्वाइन कर लूँ भाई? हेलो फ्रेंड्स, क्लास में हो भाई, अब और कैसे ज्वाइन करोगे क्लास? ओके, 10 is the right answer. Harjot, this is the class which is going on. If you want to join the batch at CL, then you can get in touch. ओके, चलो, आगे चलते हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट प्रोटेक्ट्स कार्टूनिस्ट फ्रॉम अरेस्ट बट स्लैम्स हिज पोस्ट ऑन प्राइम मिनिस्टर एंड आरएसएस। सो देयर इज दिस कार्टूनिस्ट, इंदौर बेस्ड कार्टूनिस्ट हेमंत मालविया, जिन्होंने कुछ तो कार्टून बनाया होगा। एंड विद हाउ टॉलरेंट आवर कंट्री इज दीज डेज, ऑब्वियसली उनको कोर्ट ले जाया गया। ओके, ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं। ओके, नथिंग इम्पोर्टेंट हियर। ठीक है, this is all Bihar elections. We already discussed this. Again, everything related to politics here, nothing noteworthy. Government data show fall in women at work in rural urban areas. तो कल भी हम एक आर्टिकल डिस्कस कर रहे थे जिसमें there is a major gap in women joining STEM fields such as science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and this data also correlates to that and sort of adds up to that कि women का participation जो है कम हो गया in rural and urban areas. लेबर फोर्स रेट में इनका पार्टिसिपेशन, LFPR जिसको हम कहते हैं, इज डिक्लाइनिंग कॉन्स्टेंटली। पीरियोडिक लेबर फोर्स सर्वे का जो डेटा है, दैट इज व्हाट इट सेज। ठीक है, तो ये तो डेटा ही है बस कि गवर्नमेंट सेज दिस कुड बी ड्यू टू सीजनल एग्रीकल्चरल पैटर्न्स एंड इंटेंस समर हीट, जिस वजह से फीमेल्स आर नॉट यूजुअली वर्किंग आउटडोर्स। अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट इज स्टिल एट 5.6%. This is an interesting article. 97% untouchability cases pending in courts. Untouchability is an act which is punishable, of course, by multiple legislations, but it's also a fundamental right. Can you guys quickly tell me which article talks about abolition of untouchability? Which article of the Indian Constitution talks about untouchability? Jaldi se, in the chat box. This is basic. सो यहाँ पे क्या चल रहा है कि काफी सारे केसेस जो रजिस्टर हुए हैं अंडर प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ सिविल राइट्स एक्ट, जिसमें अनटचेबिलिटीज एंड ऑफेंस, उसमें से 97% केसेस जो है अभी भी पेंडिंग चल रहा है। मैं पढ़ रहा था आर्टिकल, इसमें शायद हार्डली एक दो केसेस में अभी तक कन्विक्शन आया है, बाकी सारे में एक्विटल आ गया है। एक्विटल मतलब बरी कर देना, बरी मतलब बाइज्जत बरी वाला बरी, छोड़ देना, एंड कन्विक्शन मतलब यू गेट कन्विक्टेड, यू गेट पनिश्ड फॉर इट, एंड बाकी के केस अभी भी पेंडिंग चल रहे हैं। So you can see data from NCRB. Total of 13 cases were registered in 2022, declined from 24 cases in 2021 and 25 in 2020. These cases were reported from these particular states, and at the court level, these many cases pending. 31 cases disposed of in 2022. One resulted in conviction, while the remaining ended in acquittals, which I was telling you. In contrast, the number of cases registered under SC/ST Act has risen steadily. So उसमें भी एक तरीके से आप अनटचेबिलिटी के अगेंस्ट केस फाइल कर सकते हो, बिकॉज डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ कास्ट कैन ऑल्सो सॉर्ट ऑफ बी कोरिलेटेड टू अनटचेबिलिटी इन अ सेंस, एंड वहाँ पे केसेस जो है बढ़ रहे हैं, एंड वहाँ पे पेनल्टी भी और ज़्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट है, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग। आई थिंक दोज आर ऑल्सो नॉन वेलेबल ऑफेंसेस अंडर SC/ST एक्ट। आगे चलते हैं। Not demonizing Mughal rulers in NCRT textbooks. There were bright periods, but also dark periods where people suffered. So we have given note on darker chapters of history. सही है, काफ़ी सारे चेंजेस हो रहे हैं रिसेंटली CBSE टेक्स्ट बुक्स में, स्पेशली रिलेटेड टू मुगल हिस्ट्री। सम पीपल जोकिंगली से कि मुगल हिस्ट्री कुछ सालों में हटा ही देंगे पूरी तरीके से, कि इंडिया में मुगल्स आए ही नहीं थे। पर ठीक है, as long as they are factual and neutral, that should be good enough. Good progress on European Union FTA talks, less so on the ASEAN Pact review. So this is continuously going on. Discussions are going on with European Union for signing a free trade agreement जिससे टैरिफ्स वगैरह कम हो जाएंगे, ट्रेडिंग काफ़ी ज़्यादा ईजी हो जाएगी, एक्सपोर्ट इम्पोर्ट जो है टैरिफ्स में रिलैक्सेशन मिल जाएगा. तो अभी डिस्कशन नेगोशिएशन चल रहा है. 12th राउंड ऑफ टॉक्स was just concluded recently, and they have closed a couple of chapters of the deal. ASEAN से related progress अभी ज़्यादा नहीं हुआ. ASEAN is an organization, association of Southeast Asian nations. Okay, ठीक है. बाकी तो nothing important. Tesla drives into India. Global bestseller Model Y at 60 lakh. So इंडिया में आपको टेस्ला कार्स देखने को मिल जाएंगी. मुंबई में शोरूम लॉन्च हो चुका है. There you can see the Model Y, which is, in my opinion, not a great looking car, but ठीक है, to each his own. सबकी अपनी अपनी पसंद होती है. All right. What are your favorite cars, by the way, folks? अपनी अपनी favorite car मुझे बताओ जरा chat box में. Not that it's relevant to the class, but just curious to know. All right. West Bank witnessed to largest displacement since 1967. The displacement of whom? These people who are living in West Bank, क्योंकि bombing हो रही है इजराइल की तरफ से. जबरदस्त दोनों साइड से. Okay, she pledges China's support in meeting with Russia's Lavrov. ठीक है. Brazil, China, India could be hit hard by the curb, says NATO chief Mark Rutte. Okay. All right. Selection dilemma over number 3 spot. Okay. Nothing interesting in the sports section today. That brings us to the end of the newspaper overview. चलो वापस आते हैं हम अपनी पीपीटी पे. Let's quickly come back to our PPT. Alright, क्या responses आ रहे हैं? BMW M5 CS, beautiful choice, love that car. McLaren 720, Mercedes तो brand है तुझा. I need models. But ठीक है, I love Mercedes as a brand as well. XUV, Porsche, Audi, LaFerrari, Porsche, Lambo, Maruti. There's also Maruti, nice. Scorpio and Fortuner. क्या बात है. मेरे मन में कुछ कुछ स्टीरियोटाइप्स आ रहे हैं, बट मैं बोलूंगा नहीं, मुझे बैन नहीं होना है. ठीक है. मारुति ऑल्टो, ओ माय गॉड, लॉर्ड ऑल्टो हैज बीन मेंशन्ड. क्या बात है. ठीक है, बढ़िया है. गुड चॉइस गाइस, इंटरेस्टिंग फोक्स यू आर. ऑलराइट, ठीक है. स्टार्ट करते हैं हम आज का डिस्कशन. क्रिमिनलाइजिंग रिलेशनशिप्स, यूएस एंड मल्टीलेटरलिज्म, एससीओ एंड टेररिज्म. दीस आर द 3 टॉपिक्स. उससे पहले एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट अपडेट. कल भी मैंने आपको दिया था, बट आज और अगले 2-3 दिन में आपको ये अपडेट देता रहूंगा. दैट रेस टू एनएलयूज इज कमिंग and it's going to happen on 20th of July, which is Sunday. Our 3 best of the best mentors are going to help you guys with the best of the strategies. Rahul sir, Prasan sir, Siddharth sir. So make sure that you have registered for it. Very nominal cost of 49 rupees for non-CL students, and absolutely free, most for all CL students. So make sure that you register for this. We'll have smart strategies to ace CLAT and elite. ठीक है, चल. Enough brand promotion. Let's get to our discussion. The issue with criminalizing all adolescent relationships. Now, this is an article which talks about a Supreme Court case जिसमें ruling आई है. केस का नाम है राइट टू प्राइवेसी ऑफ एडोलेसेंट्स, एंड इट्स एन एग्जांपल ऑफ कोर्ट रिविजिटिंग इट्स स्टैंड्स बाय प्रायोरिटाइजिंग वॉइस ऑफ यंग पीपल मोस्ट इंपैक्टेड बाय द क्रिमिनल केस इनिशिएटेड फॉर अ प्रोटेक्शन. अब कोर्ट ने अपना एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी ज्यूरिसडिक्शन यूज किया अंडर आर्टिकल 142 ऑफ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन and did not impose any sentence on a young man convicted of aggravated penetrative assault under Section 6 of POCSO. The case involved a 14-year-old girl from West Bengal who left her home to be with a 25-year-old man. काफी controversy हुई थी इस केस के around, even on social media. This girl said that I am willfully married to this guy, I love this guy, etc., etc. They got married, had a child in 2021 when the girl was 17. And we all know that if a woman is under the age of 18, even if the sexual activity is with consent, that is amounted to be non-consensual, because it is assumed by law that before the age of 18 you cannot give a valid consent. So he was obviously arrested and tried for kidnapping, rape, aggravated penetrative sexual assault, and child marriage. Intense. Despite noting the helplessness of the girl and with the girl child on her lap, the POCSO court has constrained by stringent legal provisions and sentenced the accused to 20 years imprisonment. तो ये जो है पॉक्सो वाले कोर्ट ने इनको सजा सुनाई भाई साहब को. एंड 2022 में फिर अपील हुई, कैलकाटा हाई कोर्ट गया कोई केस एंड उन्होंने रिकॉग्नाइज किया उसका डिस्ट्रेस किसका, द वुमन cut off by her family and left to care for the baby and a mother-in-law with cancer while fighting for the release of her partner. So basically, she was sort of dependent on that guy, dependent as well as attached. And the court noted the socio-economic background of the couple who did not understand that the relationship constituted an offense. तो उनको पता ही नहीं था that they are on the wrong side of law. And while noting that the approach adopted in the POCSO renders adolescents vulnerable to criminal prosecution for normative sexual behavior, the High Court made several problematic comments as well, including one that female adolescents should control their urges, which was very problematic for the court to say. एंड उसके बाद ये केस जो है पहुंचा सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसमें सुओ मोटो कॉग्निजेंस दिया. सुओ मोटो में आप लोगों को काफी बार बता चुका हूँ, जब कोर्ट खुद से किसी मैटर का कॉग्निजेंस लेता है, एक्नॉलेज करता है कि हम इस केस को सुनेंगे विदाउट द petitioner taking it to the Supreme Court or without a PIL being filed, तो उसको हम suo moto केस कहते हैं. एंड कोर्ट ने कहा कि we are restoring the accused conviction and it rejected the concepts of non-exploitative sexual acts with a minor age 14 and category of older adolescents. And ये जो ना दोनों concepts हैं, they have been recognized in international human rights law and medical parlance. Empirical studies बताती हैं कि adolescent relationship 16 साल से ऊपर की are not extraordinary but a common reality. I mean, we all know that, right? It's pretty obvious that a lot of 16 plus people are in relationships these days. Many of you might also be in relationships. मैं तो ऐसा नहीं था, मैं तो बहुत अच्छा बच्चा था, अभी भी हूँ. But point is that this is a common reality. And an enfold study of 1715 romantic cases showed that 7064 POCSO judgments in these many cases between these many years, 24.3% involved romantic relationships, and 82% of victims in such cases refused to testify against the accused. Testify मतलब गवाही देना against the accused, which is most likely their boyfriend, right? So victims ने मना कर दिया कि भाई हम जो है इनके अगेंस्ट नहीं बोलेंगे. एक और स्टडी हुई जुडिशियल ट्रेंड्स की, उसमें भी पता चला that there were 25.4% people involved in consensual relationships, basically people less than 18 years. And law तो हमें पता ही है, age of consent is at 18 and the development from 2012 जब ये पहले जो है 16 हुआ करता था. In its initial judgment, court did not envisage or think about any non-exploitative angle in this involving an adolescent. And young people who choose to marry early are often asserting their agency, their own will, their choice, through the very limited options available within patriarchal structures. तो काफी लोगों की child marriage करा दी जाती है even before they turn 18, especially with girls, especially with women, and they don't really have a lot of choice because of the patriarchal setup. So consent might be flawed in such cases, and it is important to interrogate कि स्टेट उसको कैसे देखता है, एक सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड वे से देखता है या फिर एक एक्सरसाइजिंग ऑफ चॉइस के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखता है, एक्सपैंडिंग ऑफ ऑप्शंस के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखता है, या फिर एक स्ट्रिक्ट लीगल पर्सपेक्टिव से देखता है. And they're saying that true justice should move beyond criminalizing all adolescent relationships, and it should recognize consent of those above 16 years with conditions in which consent will be invalid अगर coercion है तो, and if there is sexual relationship with persons in positions of trust and authority, because वहाँ पे abuse के chances बढ़ जाते हैं. So, I mean, I sort of agree with this perspective to a great extent, and I think people who are above 16 should get more agency, and the law should evolve with times. But yeah, सबकी अपनी अपनी जो है इसमें perspective and thought process हो सकता है, which I respect. And law जो है अभी तक change नहीं हुआ, so yeah, be careful guys. पकड़े मत जाना अगर ऐसा कुछ कर रहे हो तो. That's what I would say. Okay, chat में क्या चल रहा है? Sir, how are we CL students would get to join? Where would we get the link? Same link. The link is same share. You can just register on the link, and I think आपके पोर्टल में भी आ रहा होगा, KCL पोर्टल में, और maybe you can write an email to support. MyZone में दिख जाएगा आपको आपके SIS पोर्टल में. Okay, Dog Lover is saying suo moto cognizance can be taken by other bodies also. Depends on the case. बहुत कम ऐसा होता है कि ये बॉडीज जो है suo moto cognizance लेती है. यूजुअली इनके जो चेयरपर्सन या जो भी होते हैं हेड्स, वो कई बार ले लेते हैं सो मोटो कॉग्निजेंस जब पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर बनता है, बट मोस्टली इट्स द कोर्ट्स डायरेक्शन विच कम्स, एंड उसके बाद ये लोग कॉग्निजेंस लेते हैं। ठीक है। हरवी सिंह, रिलेशनशिप चाह कर भी कभी नहीं मिली। अब कोई बात नहीं, सैड आई एम फीलिंग सैड फॉर यू, बट stay in the game. I'm sure there is someone who's waiting for you. You'll get it when the time is right. चलो ठीक है। हर्षित सिंह got a case last week, 307 and 109 case, as in, are you an advocate? Are you fighting cases already? If that's the case, क्या बात है? I thought we are all CLAT aspirants here. ओके, चलो आगे चलते हैं। लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द सेकंड टॉपिक, द यूएस एस्टैब्लिश्ड एंड एक्सटिंग्विश्ड मल्टीलेटरलिज्म। मल्टीलेटरलिज्म मैं आपको बता चुका हूँ क्या है, एंड हमारे जो ट्रम्प भाई साहब हैं वो काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें कर रहे हैं जिससे ग्लोबल ट्रेंड्स चेंज हो रहे हैं, जिससे डायनामिक्स बिटवीन कंट्रीज आर कॉन्स्टेंटली चेंजिंग, चाहे वो यूएस कनाडा के रिलेशनशिप हो, चाहे वो यूएस और रशिया के रिलेशनशिप हो, चाहे वो यूएस और ग्लोबल साउथ का रिलेशनशिप हो, और चाहे वो यूएस और ब्रिक्स का रिलेशनशिप हो, विच इज़ ऑब्वियसली नॉट वेरी फ्रेंडली। एंड ये आर्टिकल यही डिस्कस करता है कि ये जो यूएस के मूव्स हैं, दिस हैज मार्जिनलाइज्ड द यूनाइटेड नेशंस, व्हिच इज एन इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, एंड emasculated the collective bargaining strength of global south. Emasculate मतलब एक तरीके से कह सकते हो reduced, weakened, and there will be no going back. The US is now engaging countries with strategic commerce related bilateral deals that fragment the global order. So basically अपने मतलब की बात कर रहा है US, they are just furthering that MAGA, Make America Great Again वाला agenda, and they are not giving any regard to any international treaties, organizations, and relationships. The asymmetry of power is such that there was no opposition in the BRICS summit in July 2025. And BRICS का जो declaration है 31 pages का, जिसमें 126 outcome are included, it failed to note the rejection of multilateralism, which required a focus on South-South cooperation. Unilateral tariffs are a means to bring individual countries to the table for seeking concessions, not global consensus. एंड दिस आर्टिकल टेल्स अस दैट ग्लोबल साउथ जो है उसको क्या चीज बांध के रखती है, उसको ये टुगेदरनेस, दिस इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में कोऑपरेट करना, यही चीज कीप्स देम टुगेदर, वेयर दे आर टुगेदर एज अ वोटिंग ब्लॉक इन द यूनाइटेड नेशंस। एंड इंडिया को भी वो सपोर्ट चाहिए टू गेट ग्लोबल इन्फ्लुएंस, टू assert its right on a global stage. And it says that it has already lost the elected post of vice chair of the executive board of UNESCO to Pakistan. एंड अब इंडिया को अपनी स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑटोनॉमी क्लेम करने की जरूरत है, एंड न्यूट्रलिटी बिटवीन मेजर पावर्स जो अभी तक हम अप्रोच फॉलो कर रहे थे, with this is sort of going against our core interest. And secondly, the challenge for a continental size Atmanirbhar Bharat of 1 billion people is to look east and not west. यानी कि हम countries like members of ASEAN, countries like African Union, countries like Japan, countries like Australia, इन सारी कंट्रीज पर फोकस करें, बेसिकली लुकिंग ईस्टवर्ड्स, ऑल्दो आई नो अफ्रीका इज वेस्टवर्ड्स, बट या ग्लोबली देखा जाए तो दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर ग्लोबल साउथ एंड नॉट वेस्ट। वेस्ट से यहाँ मतलब सिर्फ वेस्टर्न डायरेक्शन वाली कंट्रीज नहीं, वेस्ट से हमारा मतलब यूएस और यूरोप है प्राइमरली। ट्रेड कंसेशंस टू द यूएस शुड बी ट्यून टू ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स विद द ASEAN. Similarly, loss of exports to US, for example steel, can be offset by a network of expressways, high speed rail, data centers, etc. रीओरिएंटिंग द कंजम्पशन एंड एक्सपोर्ट्स। 2013 में चाइना ने आधी अपनी जीडीपी स्पेंड कर दी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे, एंड नाउ दे आर इन अ सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ वर्जन। सो दैट इज व्हाट दैट आर्टिकल टेल्स यू, दैट India needs to realign its focus now that the world order is changing, and now that US is asserting its dominance and disrupting the global order, and especially the global south. That is the crux of our article. And the last article for the day is SCO should not compromise on terrorism. And ये statement आया है हमारे Foreign Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar जी से, and इन्होंने कहा कि पहलगाम attack was carried out to sow religious divide, and he says that Shanghai Cooperation Organization was founded to combat terrorism, separatism, and extremism. ये इन्होंने बताया अपने Chinese counterpart को in the meeting which happened in Beijing. So देखते हैं इसमें और क्या क्या बातें हुई। ये वाली बात तो मैंने आपको बता दी। This meeting also included Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar, and we called for support to bring the perpetrators to justice. ठीक है, Mr. Jaishankar and other guys from these countries called on the Chinese president before proceeding to the SCO meeting in Tianjin by train. Jaishankar's meeting with Xi Jinping came after a day after bilateral talks with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Chinese Vice President Han Zheng, where he hailed the continued normalization of our relationships. So we recently कल ही हम discuss कर रहे थे that troops are now being taken back from the line of actual control. पहले तो जो है disengagement हमने किया था, अब जो है disarmament और पीछे हट रहे हैं हमारे troops from line of actual control, which essentially happened because of a standoff of 2020 in Doklam. ठीक है, चाइनीज मीडिया ने बोला दैट वी नीड टू टेक अ मोर प्रोएक्टिव रोल टू इंश्योर स्टेबिलिटी इन दिस चेंजिंग इंटरनेशनल लैंडस्केप। एससीओ के बैकग्राउंड की बात करें तो ओरिजिनेटेड फ्रॉम द शंघाई फाइव, जिसमें 5 कंट्रीज थी 1996, चाइना, रशिया, कजाकिस्तान, किर्गिस्तान एंड ताजिकिस्तान। फिर आगे चल के और कंट्रीज ऐड हो गई। देयर इज अ स्लाइड जहाँ पे मैंने डाला था ये। SCO was established on 15 June 2001 in Shanghai, adding Uzbekistan as the sixth member. तो कंफ्यूज नहीं होना, शंघाई 5 जो है 1996 में एस्टैब्लिश हुआ था और शंघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है with the inclusion of Uzbekistan started in June 2001. So this was the slide I was referring to. Founded at the Shanghai Summit in 2001 by Russia, China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. Currently it has 10 members, यानी कि पहले वाले 6 और उसके बाद इंडिया, पाकिस्तान, ईरान joined in 2023, बेलारूस joined in 2024 and इसके अलावा 3 observer states and 6 dialogue partners भी। बाकी this is the structure which we know. Secretariat is in Beijing and इसका जो regional anti-terrorist structure है that is in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. Goals हैं to address security related concerns, border issues in Asia and military cooperation. Exercise जो conduct करवाई थी वो थी Peaceful Mission 2021 and this is to counter terrorism and cooperation in these fields. So that is all you need to know about the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And that also brings us to the end of our discussion for the day. Let's quickly do the vocabulary and then we'll see if we can have a quick MENTI quiz as well. The first word is cozen. Cozen का मतलब होता है बेवकूफ बना देना, to cause to believe what is untrue, deceive, fool or trick. Are synonyms. Antonyms are reveal, expose or uncover. A clever lawyer can cozen the prisoner into an admission of guilt. Okay, the next word is hackneyed. Hackneyed मतलब होता है हिंदी में बोले तो पुराना, घिसा पिटा, lacking significance through having been overused, unoriginal and trite. Cliche, stereotype, overused. The plot of the film is just a hackneyed boy meets girl scenario. Basically every Bollywood movie ever. Antonyms are original, new or fresh. ठीक है, that is hackneyed. And the last word is inimitable. Inimitable मतलब जिसको कॉपी ना किया जा सके. Imitate का उल्टा बना है ये. Imitable का उल्टा है precisely. So imitable is something which can be imitated and inimitable is something which cannot be imitated. So good or unusual as to be impossible to copy, or something which is unique. Unique, distinctive, individual. Antonyms are usual, familiar and common. He entertained us in his own inimitable style. So yeah, these are the 3 words. Inimitable, hard to copy, hackneyed, purana or original, ghisapeta, and cozen is deceiving, fooling, tricking someone. And that brings us to the end of today's Hindu analysis session and to the beginning of the MENTI quiz. जिसके लिए I need a couple of minutes for you guys to arrange that quiz. So please hold put and if there are any questions you can ask them in the chat box. वरना 2 मिनट chat box में आपस में बातें कर लो while I just make sure that the quiz is ready for you guys. ठीक है? Okay, chat box में क्या चल रहा है? हर्षित सिंह मेरे ऊपर लगा है 307। 2 स्टार के लड़के का सर भाई यार क्रेजी। देखो, I am not going to support that. I don't want to be participant in your chat sheet, but all the best. ठीक है, let me just quickly get your quiz ready, guys. Just give me 2 more minutes. ठीक है? क्लास छोड़ के मत भागना। अगर कोई क्लास छोड़ के गया तो मैं क्विज नहीं कराऊंगा, ना आज ना फ्राइडे को। Okay. Just one more minute, folks. Thank you for your patience. I'm just making sure that everything is in place. Okay, we are ready to host the quiz. Everything is in place. Let me just quickly share the code with you all. The code for today's Menti quiz, guys, is 22227289, which means 4 times 2 and 7289. I'll put it in the chat box. ओके सो पीपल हु आर न्यू टू द प्रोसेस, जल्दी से मैं आप लोग बता देता हूँ कि हम लोग कर क्या रहे हैं यहाँ पे. सो वी डू अ एमसीक्यू बेस्ड क्विज यूजुअली एवरी ट्यूसडे एंड फ्राइडे, बट कभी कभी आगे पीछे हो जाता है. एंड टुडे इज वन ऑफ दोज डेज व्हेन वी आर डूइंग दैट क्विज. सो क्विकली गो टू अ वेबसाइट कॉल्ड www.menti.com, menti.com. चैट बॉक्स में भी डाल देता हूँ मैं. एंड यू जस्ट नीड टू पुट इन दैट कोड जो मैंने अभी आपको चैट बॉक्स में डाला, which is this one, 22227289, and you would be able to access the quiz. ठीक है. Let me just also present the quiz on the screen, and then we'll start in a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have not added a leaderboard. Damn it. एक सेकंड रुको मित्रों. लीडर बोर्ड तो बहुत जरूरी है. Ta, 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 ta. Add leaderboard. Add leaderboard. ठीक है. Okay. Leaderboard is added. Now we can present it again. No, the quiz is not on awards. Who told you it's on awards? The quiz today is on the Constitution of India. And काफी easy quiz है, to be very honest. It's a easy peasy quiz. Oops, एक question reveal कर दिया गलती से. But ठीक है. Let's go. Let's see how many of you have joined the quiz. Okay, 11 questions. We have 30 players. Can we have 35? Have all of you joined? I saw there were 40 plus people on the stream. Showing awards. ऐसा कैसे? Are you guys on the right quiz? 34 हो गए. कहाँ हुआ 34? 31 दिखा रहा है मुझे तो. I can only see 30 players on the MENTI platform. Okay, we'll wait for the last 10 seconds. If you guys want to join, jaldi se join kar lo. I'll start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. We have 34 players. The first question coming up for you folks now. Easy quiz on Indian Constitution. Twelve people got this right. The right answer is USA. The concept of judicial review comes from USA. It does not come from UK. We borrow a lot of stuff from UK from the for the Constitution, but judicial review is not one of it. Sir, it's me. ये अलग ही सस्पेंस चल रहा है क्विज में. कोई एनोनिमस नेम से आ रहा है और मुझे मेरे लिए क्विज चल रहा है कि आप बताओ मैं कौन हूँ. सही है, बढ़िया है. But ठीक है. Sir, it's me, Steph, Raya, Mimi, Rishad, Player 456, Noodle, Chandralekha, Boti, and Nirali are on the leaderboard. Cool. Let's go to the second question of the quiz, folks. Second easy question coming up for you in 3, 2, 1 now. This is also easy. Tenth schedule is the correct answer. Tenth schedule talks about disqualification on grounds of defection. इसको एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ भी बोलते हैं हम. इजी क्वेश्चन था ये तो. ओके, ठीक है. हैरी पुत्तर इज नाउ ऑन द लीडर बोर्ड. रेस्ट ऑफ द पीपल आर द सेम ones. Next question, question number 3. On your screen, folks. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. काफी लोगों ने तुक्के मारे हैं, but the right answer is the ninth schedule was added by the first amendment and it was to protect land reform laws. Absolutely correct. It was not to increase retirement age of judges. That's not the right answer. Okay, we have new people on the leaderboard. Vridhi is here. Kya baat hai? Rishant, Player, and Sir, it's me. These guys got the right answer. Player 456, big jump. Now on second, Rishant on third. All right, let's go to question number 4, folks. Question 4 coming up for you now in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Which part of the constitution deals with panchayati raj institutions? मुझे ऐसा क्यों लग रहा है मैंने क्वेश्चन दो बार डाल दिया है बट ठीक है whatever. Right answer is part 9. Part 9 talks about panchayati raj institutions. Absolutely correct. Basic, easy peasy static GK constitution questions. Nothing fancy. Harsh had the fastest response, climbed a few spots. Noodle also climbed a few spots. Baki rest of the people are pretty much the same. Okay, let's go to question number 5. Coming up on your screen. Now. ये तो न्यूज़ में भी था काफ़ी टाइम हमने डिस्कस भी किया इसको आर्टिकल्स के थ्रू. आई एम होपिंग a lot of you would get this right. That's correct. It's Article 143, the power of the President to consult the Supreme Court, take the expert advice of the Supreme Court. That's right. I'm glad most of you got this right. That means you guys are attentive to classes. क्या बात है? The person on the top of the leaderboard did not get this right, but only one spot lost. And player 456 is now on top. क्या बात है? Let's go to question number 6. I can see a lot of new people on the leaderboard today, which makes me really happy. Education made a fundamental right. Through which amendment? That's correct. It's the 86th Amendment which made it a fundamental right for children aged 6 to 19, right to education. Absolutely right. Almost everyone on the leaderboard got this right. That's great. Fastest response by Sir It's Me. Okay, question number 7. We have 29 players playing with us. The seventh question on your screen now. In 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Joint sitting. Who presides? Speaker of the Lok Sabha is the right answer. Some people might think it's president, but no. The Speaker of the Lok Sabha presides over the joint sitting of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. That's correct. Basic Civics 101. Messi and Shreya are now on the leaderboard. Nice. Okay, some people have lost a few spots. Player 456 is in the lead. Next question number 8, coming up for us on the screen in 3, 2, 1. That is. Oh, wait a second. I think इस क्वेश्चन में हमने करेक्ट आंसर मार्क नहीं किया है. सो जस्ट गिव मी अ मोमेंट. यही होता है जब जल्दी जल्दी क्विज बनाओ ना. ओके, वन सेकेंड. लेट मी जस्ट select the right answer here. Okay, cool. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Really sorry about this. But okay, that is the right answer. आर्टिकल 3. सो मैंने किसी का आंसर चेंज नहीं किया. अगर आपका सही होगा तो अब आपको पॉइंट्स मिल जाएंगे उसके. सो नो चीटिंग, नो अनफेयर advantage to anyone. Okay, Steph had the fastest response as is now on the third position. Player Sir Steph are leading. And we have Advay, Noodle, Chandralekha, Shreya, Rishan, Messi, and Raya. Okay, ninth question coming up for you folks. Ninth question on your screen. 3, 2, 1, let's go. मुझे लगा ही था कि अच्छा ये अमेंडमेंट है. ओके, दिस इज अमेंडमेंट. दैट वाज व्हिच पार्ट? इजी क्वेश्चन. अरे यार, इसमें भी आंसर मार्क नहीं है. व्हाट द हेल. बट या 17 पीपल गॉट दिस राइट. एंड चलो ठीक है, स्क्रीन पे ही मार्क कर देता हूँ मैं इसको in front of you all. Let's mark this one as the correct answer. Okay, cool. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. All right. ठीक है. Not many changes on the leaderboard. We move to the second last question of the quiz. Oops, दो बार press हो गया. Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's go to the second last question of the quiz on your screen now. Fundamental rights being suspended during emergency. ये हमने कहाँ से लिया concept? Germany is the right answer. We took this idea from Germany. Fundamental rights being suspended during an emergency. Okay, slightly tough question for a few of you. Messi has jumped a lot of spots here, but pretty much the same leaderboard. And we are down to the final question, 11th question of the quiz. Here we go. DPSP, borrowed from where? Easy question here. Ireland is the correct answer. Most of you got this right. देखते हैं कौन है विजेता हमारे आज के इजी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन क्विज का. I think it's gonna be player 456. Let's look at the final leaderboard. And yes, it is Mr. Player 456. ये क्या हुआ? अच्छा हाँ ठीक तो है. सही है. So, congratulations, Mr. Player 456. You have won the quiz. I don't know your exact name. Maybe I forgot your name, but yeah, congratulations. And sir, it's me with a close second. Steph, Adve, Messi, Rishant, Shreya, Raya, Noodle, Chandralekha. Good job, everyone. Well played. And kudos to everyone who participated. Well done, folks. This was fun. Okay. Are you saying the koala is cute? Aradhya. Okay. Congratulations, Aradhya. Advay is saying this was not an easy quiz. ऐसा तो नहीं है यार. Hari is saying, do you have premium subscription of Menti? Yes, that's correct. I do. Okay, ठीक है. That was the quiz. Easy quiz था. मतलब tough तो नहीं था. Easy to moderate कह सकते हैं. But okay, next quiz would be on Friday, and we'll come back to a current affairs quiz. So, current affairs quiz, 10 to 15 odd questions. Come prepared for the month of July, June and July. ठीक है? चलो, I'll see you all tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Signing off. Good night.